Long time ago, there lived a queen by the name Queen Licia. Queen Licia lived for ages even after her husband the king died. After her husband was buried, Queen Licia revealed a side of her that many did not know about. She despised men so much. She used any opportunity she got to turn men into her own slaves. If any man was reported to her, she would make sure he was beaten to his own death. Many maidens admired the ageless skin of the queen, and many wanted to know what kept her so young despite having lived for centuries. The other mystery about the queen is that she had a secret room that only her had access to. No one else was allowed to the room. The other thing was that the queen ate only meat. She stopped eating vegetables when her husband, the king, died, and her meat was specially made by boiling and not frying. One day, the queen got so sick and she realized that her skin was aging. The potion that she would use to keep her sane and young got finished and she started thirsting for fresh blood. She covered her face every night and sneaked out of the palace only to attack young men and drink their blood. She kept doing this for weeks, and when she got tired, she killed several men and packed their blood in bags and refrigerated them in her room. She kept getting complaints from her guards about several men who were found dead in the forest. The queen would say,
"Probably it might be the wild animals. Best ask the people to be careful and not to walk at night."
The queen kept taking blood from the blood bags until one day she ran out of it. She was almost turning mad. She sneaked out again, but that night she didn't see any young man. She only saw a small girl, and her thirst for blood overwhelmed her. She pounced on the young girl and sucked her all dry. She then ran back to the palace so that no one could see her. But when she got to her room, she locked herself, and the guilt of what she had done ate her up. She did not believe she had killed a young girl. To punish herself, she decided to lock herself away from everyone. She relived the day that her husband beat her and turned her into a vampire. From that day, she hated men so much because of what her husband had done to her. She did not want to hurt the young girl, but her thirst for blood overwhelmed her. The queen tortured herself for days and she finally died in her room. The palace guard perceived a strange smell coming out of the queen's room, and they were forced to break down her door. They were met with the strange smell of the decomposing body of the queen. The queen was buried, and her secret about being a vampire was never revealed. The end. If you've enjoyed this story this far, please do not leave before you give it a like, subscribe, and share. Please consider leaving a comment on the comment section telling me whether you enjoyed the story, and tell me whatever city or country you're watching me from for me to give you a shout out on the next episode of Wonder Tales by Julian.